Microdose, yeah, Microdose. Hosted by Kush Hayes and Robyn Seto. Talking the talk, cause they got things for you to know. Let's go party with Miss Robyn in the games on Cameo, yeah. Microdose, microdose, dose, dose. Microdose, microdose, dose, dose. Microdose, microdose, dose, dose. Microdose, microdose, dose, dose. What gets us next? Go and take a guess. No matter who it is, every episode's the best. Every episode's the best. Every episode's the best. If you disagree, you're crazy, simple as chess. Microdose, microdose. Microdose, microdose. Microdose, microdose. Microdose, yeah, microdose.
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes here. We made it. We finally got here. Episode 100 of the Microdose. I can't really explain how it feels to be here. Like, there's been a lot of hurdles and obstacles and challenges and etc. to get here, but we got here. Was hoping we would have a lot more pomp and circumstance for this episode, but just we're still new at this. We're still babies. We're still trying to figure it out. Should we just have like a super guest on? Should we make this a clip show? Ultimately, this is a clip show, folks. Wish we had more clips on here, even some more of the more recent stuff, but we can't go Joe Rogan length. We have to just keep it nice and as tight as we can, and even this one I think maybe we go a little long as it is, but the Microdose originally started with another show on the Bosnet called Kush and Kai, and we were about 4 episodes into that series when my man Kai said, "You know what? I wanna focus on some other stuff here. I want to try some other bits. I want to experiment with this." And I was like, that sounds great. And the Kush and Kai Microdose was born from there. We never really had a consistent schedule. I always wanted to get at least one out a week. But then we would start putting out 2 and 3, and that was cool, but it was also just super inconsistent. It was very random. The point was we were recording Kush and Kai episodes like months out of the way. You know, if it was September, we would have our episode for January already done. So we wanted you guys to be a little bit more up to speed with us, especially for a show that we were only doing about twice a month. All good things do end eventually. In this case, they restart up, but eventually Kush and Kai as a franchise would close temporarily, but it's still closed. We've talked about that in Kush and Kai Microdoses, so we won't dive back into that. I tried thinking about, like, well, I really still like doing this podcasting thing, and maybe I can still do this on my own without a co-host. So let's try a thing called the Kush Hayes Show. Ultimately, it would be for naught. At first, I started, again, trying to treat it like the Microdose, just talking about pop culture stuff, maybe what was going on in UFC that week, who I might be betting on in DraftKings. And then finally started getting access to junket footage, movie junket interviews. Oh, it was an honor to work with this person, and I saw their vision right from the point, and I hope everybody loves this. That stuff. You've seen it all the time. Black background, actor in a chair, anonymous, faceless interviewer. And we almost got to 50 episodes with that. We even tried to do the Kush Hayes Show Microdose. Now, it wasn't a good show either way. Again, me by myself, as you guys are probably experiencing now, is not so much fun. I work better as a team. I work better with multiple people. It's nice to just have someone to bounce stuff off and have them bounce stuff back off of me. And ultimately, that's why we have Waffle Box now, created by Mike Fish. Regardless of what I thought of the Kush Hayes Show and the Kush Hayes Microdose, COVID shut everything down. There was nothing for me to talk about. There was no UFC fights. There were no movies coming out. None. And I didn't want to be that guy lecturing to you about how you should handle your COVID problems. You've done the math. I still stand by this. You've done the math. You know what's best for you, and you should do that. So, having said that, COVID or no COVID, continue to wash your hands, wash your ass, and just, maintain good hygiene, folks. It's not hard. It really isn't. COVID was only supposed to be about 2 weeks, and then it turned into 2 months, and then finally made a friend on the internet. Her name would be Robyn Seto. Miss Robyn Seto, if you're nasty. And we just vibed back and forth. We were always having a great time on the instant messenger and the Facebook chats and et cetera, et cetera. And I was just like, yo, you should do this show with me. And we tried doing a couple different things, and it just wasn't working out. But we would eventually come back to Microdose. And so I started episode 16, I believe, with Robyn. And we dropped the Kush Hayes show branding. We just made it Microdose Volume 2, which will just be Microdose proper after tomorrow. And it just started going on from there. And after about a handful of episodes, she was like, hey, I got a game. And I was like, I like games. And she's like, yeah, do this thing, Cameo. And I was like, it's going to call the Robyn Seto Cameo Party. And the first couple times was just by myself. It's fine. It's fun. She was like, maybe we should get some guests in. And I was like, you think we're ready for that? She's like, yeah, sure. Why not? And then we started getting guests. I was hoping we would have a lot more pomp and circumstance for this episode, but just, we're still new at this. We're still babies. We're still trying to figure it out. Should we just have like a super guest on? Should we make this a clip show? Ultimately, this is a clip show, folks. Wish we had more clips on here, even some more of the more recent stuff, but we can't go Joe Rogan length. We have to just keep it nice and as tight as we can, and even this one, I think maybe we go a little long as it is, but the Microdose originally started with another show on the Bosnet called Kush and Kai, and we were about 4 episodes into that series when my man Kai said, you know what, I want to focus on some other stuff here. I want to try some other bits. I want to experiment with this. And I was like, that sounds great. And the Kush and Kai Microdose was born from there. We never really had a consistent schedule. I always wanted to get at least one out a week. But then we would start putting out 2 and 3, and that was cool, but it was also just super inconsistent. It was very random. The point was just we were recording Kush and Kai episodes like months out of the way. If it was September, we would have our episode for January already done. So we wanted you guys to be a little bit more up to speed with us, especially for a show that we were only doing about twice a month. All good things do end eventually. In this case, they restart up, but eventually Kush and Kai as a franchise would close temporarily, but it's still closed. We've talked about that in Kush and Kai Microdoses, so we won't dive back into that. I tried thinking about I really still like doing this podcasting thing, and maybe I can still do this on my own without a co-host. So let's try a thing called the Kush Hayes Show. Ultimately, it would be all for naught. At first I started, again, trying to treat it like the Microdose, just talking about pop culture stuff, maybe what was going on in UFC that week, who I might be betting on in DraftKings. And then finally started getting access to junket footage, movie junket interviews. Oh, it was an honor to work with this person, and I saw their vision right from the point, and I hope everybody loves this. That stuff. You've seen it all the time. Black background, actor in a chair, anonymous, faceless interviewer. And we almost got to 50 episodes with that. We even tried to do the Kush Hayes Show Microdose. Now, it wasn't a good show either way. Again, me by myself, as you guys are probably experiencing now, is not so much fun. I work better as a team. I work better with multiple people. It's nice to just have someone to bounce stuff off and have them bounce stuff back off of me. And ultimately, that's why we have Waffle Box now, created by Mike Fish. Regardless of what I thought of the Kush Hayes show and the Kush Hayes microdose, COVID shut everything down. There was nothing for me to talk about. There was no UFC fights. There were no movies coming out. None. And I didn't want to be that guy lecturing to you about how you should handle your COVID problem. You've done the math. I still stand by this. You've done the math. You know what's best for you, and you should do that. So, having said that, COVID or no COVID, continue to wash your hands, wash your ass, and just, maintain good hygiene, folks. It's not hard. It really isn't. COVID was only supposed to be about 2 weeks, and then it turned into 2 months, and then finally made a friend on the internet. Her name would be Robyn Seto. Miss Robyn Seto, if you're nasty. And we just vibed back and forth. We were always having a great time on the instant messenger and the Facebook chats and etc. And I was just like, yo, you should do this show with me. And we tried doing a couple different things, and it just wasn't working out. But we would eventually come back to Microdose. And so I started episode 16, I believe, with Robyn. And we dropped the Kush Hayes show branding. We just made it Microdose Volume 2, which will just be Microdose proper after tomorrow. And it just started going on from there. And after about a handful of episodes, she was like, hey, I got a game. And I was like, I like games. And she was like, yeah, do this thing, Cameo. And I was like, it's going to call the Robyn Seto Cameo Party. And the first couple times was just by myself. It's fine. It's fun. She was like, maybe we should get some guests in. And I was like, you think we're ready for that? She's like, yeah, sure. Why not? And then we started getting guests. And that was a good thing. So, despite talking up Robyn for the last 5 minutes, I'm going to just take us out of order here. I'm going to throw to some outtakes. What qualifies as an outtake? Sometimes we just ran a little long. Sometimes the bit wasn't good. I try to keep those out as much as possible. So in this case, the bit just ran too long. At least for what my needs were. But Microdose 58 debuted April 2nd, 2021. Drew Angelman and Kai of Kush and Kai. We're going to talk 2021 Oscar predictions, including, what Oscar replay value any of these movies have. And then I slide into a tangent about where I get mad at the movie Gandhi. We're going to throw that right now. What's an Oscar movie, Drew, a previous best winner that you go back to like at least once a year?
I don't know.
Yeah, there's none, probably. Yeah.
I was going to say Saving Private Ryan, but it should have been the best picture.
Zoink.
Maybe Silence of the Lambs, but I don't watch that once a year.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm talking about, replay value. Like, I can't stop watching this. This is my Avengers Endgame. Like, I've seen it 47 times. I haven't seen Avengers Endgame 47 times. I'm sorry. Don't.
Oh, I did watch
Don't judge me.
Parasite a couple of times this year. Although
Parasite's
that's
great.
Relatively new. Let's see. Crash, I've never watched again.
Yeah. I'd say Shawshank. Shawshank gets maybe not once a year, but it's like had a heavy rotation.
Yeah.
Gosh, I haven't talked about $1 Million Baby in a while.
I'm getting ready to talk about that tomorrow on a podcast.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
I finally just saw that for the very first time. Spoiler alert, I loved it.
Nice.
That's great.
Yeah.
I want to see Birdman again. I can get down with Forrest Gump. Maybe not like every year, but just show it to the kid, I guess. No one's watched Gandhi ever again, ever. All right, I'll stop going back in time.
I remember being angry that Gandhi would be on, just knowing like it was 2 video cassettes deep.
Oh,
I'm just like, what are you doing?
You're bored. And
I'm only like 6.
You're not even to the second tape. It's
5, 6,
out.
7. I'm definitely not the audience, but I'm just like, why are we watching this? Well, going from Oscars to directors, We had the pleasure of Gillian Horvat, who did a movie called I Blame Society. It was actually part of the Unnamed Footage Festival. I found it to be one of the best movies of the whole festival. I would even go as far as to, like, just buy it on iTunes. It's available, I believe, for $15 right now. Check that out. Well, this is another outtake, and this is actually in the spirit of things that just went bad. In my defense, I still think it was a good question, but Gillian took it the wrong way, and I can laugh about it now, and that's why I'm going to share it with you. But in context, she made this found footage movie. Like I said, it's called I Blame Society. The main character is played by her, uses her real name. At one point, the character murders her best friend, who is played by an actor played by real Gillian's best friend, who went by his real name. And, I just went like, using all these real names, maybe your friends might get a little sketchy around you. And I mean, if she was doing Star Wars, I would totally understand why she would think this was a stupid question. But I don't know. You guys, let me know what you think. This is outtake from Microdose number 63. It debuted April 22nd, 2021. Gillian Horvat, I Blame Society. Here we go. At any point, once the film is made, again, everyone's in on the joke, or does people look at you a little differently?
Yeah, I think people knew that it wasn't a documentary and that I didn't kill people.
That's not what I meant at all. Like, again, this is the exaggerated version of you. So people are like, well, she wrote that, so maybe part of that's in her a little bit. Like that's all I'm going with.
I don't know. I think there's, I hope that people can separate the character from myself. I think, a lot of authors enjoy creating works that, explore the concept of an alter ego.
Mm-hmm.
A lot, Catherine Bray-Laws made films where she has actors playing herself. Philip Roth writes books about his alter egos. I think that, it's just a fictional trope, and I hope that people would enjoy it that way.
Like I said, I can laugh about it now, but at the time I was just like, you fucking idiot. Why would you ask her that? And I was like, no, it still makes sense to me. Again, if this was Lord of the Rings, I would get, like, I'm pretty sure my friends don't think I'm an orc, Kush. Like, that would make sense, but anyway. Let's move on. More outtakes aplenty. This next outtake comes from Microdose number 65. It debuted May 7th, 2021, and it is actually with Mike Fish of Waffle Box. He's with Waffle Box at this point of the show. He's been on a few times with multiple podcasts, but in this one, we talk some beard talk, which is great for audio experience. We talk about The Walking Dead. And then I tell Mike about a little Japanese anime called Legend of the Overfiend. And again, I wish this was a visual medium because his face said so many things, but I guess he gives a pretty good audio reaction as well. So we're going to throw to that right now. Now, does your beard go all... Is that covering your jawline as well, or is it just the front? Because that's pretty impressive, man. I was trying to grow something like that.
Yes, I'm quite happy with it. But this is no one can see this on the podcast, but
yeah,
if I do this, that's my real shape of my face.
Okay, we'll get a little screen grab of that. I've been it gets my beard's at a length now where, like, it's bothering me in my sleep. Where, like, I'll turn on the pillow and then it's just all up here now. And it's what do you do to combat that?
Oh, I don't know, but I have to keep trimming my mustache because every now and again, when it gets too long when I'm eating, it will start. I'll start eating my own beard. The worst one is the masks, but
oh yeah, right.
Because when I wear a mask for too long, it starts indenting my beard. So I have like a weird shaped beard. Yeah.
I was going to say you probably have an acne problem under there, but no, if the worst problem is an indentation in your beard, well, all right, so be it.
I mean, I could have acne under. I don't know. I haven't checked. I haven't checked for a couple of years.
Oh, you got to check.
Who knows what's in there?
You got to check, man.
There could be some popcorn in there from the last time I went to the movies.
Oh my goodness. All right. I mean, I still got more on my list here, but I think we've talked enough here.
Well, keep going. We can always edit this if you need. What else you got on the list? I want to see what's on your list.
I got Invincible here. Amazon Prime's Invincible. Have you checked that out yet?
No. I've had Amazon Prime. I had Amazon Prime for like 2 years. Never watched anything they've done.
They got some good stuff on there. The navigation system is terrible, but if you know what you're looking for, they got some good stuff on there. Invincible is
They have a movie called Iron Man on there, which is a documentary about my beloved West Ham United.
Oh, okay.
It's like their finals because they were moving stadiums, and one stadium they played it over 100 years was getting like demolished at the end of the season. So it's like the documentary following them throughout their last season at the stadium. It's pretty cool.
Okay, Iron Man. All right.
Iron Men, not man.
Yeah,
that's a very different movie.
No, I said men. Iron Man.
I know. I was just clarifying for the listeners.
All right.
It's not all about
if you hadn't given us that explanation, I would have thought it was about performance-enhancing drugs, i.e., steroids. But that sounds more exciting.
The juice.
The TV show Invincible is based on Robert Kirkman's comic book by the same name. Are you familiar with Robert Kirkman? I mean, I bet you are, but do you know him? Do you know that name?
If I Googled him.
Don't worry about that. No, he's the guy who created the Walking Dead comic book, which is also the biggest TV show, or was. So
that was a great TV show for the first maybe 5, 6 seasons.
It was really good, and then Glenn died twice. And it's like, ugh, I can't do this anymore. Yeah,
it's still going apparently.
This is its last season for the flagship show, and then who knows what they're going to do with the spin-off, and then they got more spin-offs. And
because they had like, was it Fear the Walking Dead or something?
Fear the Walking Dead, which I couldn't get into. Is that supposed to be a prequel or something? No, it was supposed to be just a side story, or not even a side story, a spin-off. Like, this is happening in real time, just in the same time, but in another part of the world or the country or whatever.
Ooh, I don't like that.
The dude with the staff, Morgan will cross over between series every now and then. Sometimes he's on the one show, sometimes he's on the other show. That was how they bridged the two. But yeah, again, I tapped out on that shit like the 6th episode. I was just like, I don't like any of these people, and I don't care if any of them survive. I have zero investment in this. But yeah, the Invincible show, it's incredibly gory, which apparently is the bigger thing than it's actually got a nice tight story. It's only 8 episodes. There will be 2 more seasons following it. The only thing that doesn't impress me with the gore is I saw an anime when I was 17 called Legend of the Overfiend. Are you familiar with this?
No.
Is one of the most fucked up things you could ever see in anime, at least at the time. I'm sure there are way worse stuff, and this thing apparently had like 15 sequels to it. I don't even remember what it's involved, but it's a lot of blood and guts and gore and bodily fluids of all shapes and sizes, and demons and people being ripped apart and giant penises crushing buildings. It gets weird.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
My recommendation of something to avoid: Legend of the Overfiend.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that something you're recommending to me?
Only to avoid. I don't think I should have saw it at 17. I don't know if I'd want to see it at 42. Again,
made you a man.
It made me something, that's for sure. I don't know if it made me a stable man, but yeah. So that's really all I got, my man. I think we've done more than enough here. I can edit this down and I'll still have, 40 minutes of good stuff. So
we achieved something here tonight.
we did good. We did very good. We had a conversation. I like to think we had fun,
I think
and
we changed the world.
we did. That was the so of notes regarding Waffle Box. I got a note saying, "Good job on checking your ego and changing it from Mike and Kush save the world to just Waffle Box." And I was thinking about that. I was like, "Yeah, that was a last minute decision. I think it's probably a good one too. But what if our voices do save the world? What if these things do go out into space, much like a Bill and Ted?"
Someone didn't like the original name.
Someone did not like the original name. A friend of ours up in the America's hat.
Oh, Mr. DM.
Mm-hmm.
What a bitch. He didn't say anything to me.
I didn't. Oh, wow. I don't know if that was supposed to be a private conversation then, but yes, I just outed it, Mr. DM. So he was like, good job on checking the ego. And I was like, what if this podcast does save the world? We're going to look like some goddamn heroes then, aren't we?
Well, to be fair, compared to when viewed through Canadian eyes, I guess Americans and British people do have egos.
Maybe. Mr. DM sitting up in his white castle there in jolly old Canada,
coding his stupid wrestling game.
More outtakes. On June 11th, 2021, we brought Kai in, and he wanted to introduce a brand new game to me and Robyn. Is BTS or James Hong movies. It's either or. I might have had a couple pops during this event. Ultimately, though, unfortunately, Kai botches the game. I still don't know what happened there or why that happened, but that was apparently a plan of his. I still have had no explanation about it, nor do I think we should inquire about it. But this made the outtakes. I don't remember if we even put this in the show, but here you go. BTS or James Hong with Kai of Kush and Kai.
Wait, do you want to try it real quick?
The other game? The BTS game?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, we got you. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. This game is a this or that. Kush and Robyn are going to try and guess whether this is a Korean pop BTS song or from the acting catalog of legend James Hong, who is also part of the 400 Club. I believe he's got over, let's see here, 440 some movies. Holy cow. 441. That's a lot. Okay. Wow. So here we go. We got 9 questions, and I will ask you both. We'll go round by round. You'll tell me if this is either a James Hong credited movie or TV role or a BTS Korean pop song.
I gotta say before we get deep into this, I wish that BTS had a movie released nationally or I imagine internationally, and we were part of that international. Despite not knowing what songs are in their catalog, I would have liked to have seen that movie. I bet it would have been pretty great with the sound and the visuals and et cetera, et cetera. It's just this is just an uneducated guess.
Dig. Okay, are we ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Who goes first?
Ready.
All right, Robyn, you're going to go first this round. Ready?
All right.
Okay. Number 1. Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. I'll say James Hong.
James Hong. All right, Kush, what do you think?
It's such a generic title. Yeah, but I'm gonna just go the opposite, just to be a contrarian. BTS.
BTS. Okay, that one was BTS.
Oh,
number 2.
Yeah, see, we need this.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Ugh, what a terrible title.
That sounds like a Bangtan Boys. I'll say BTS.
I'm also gonna say BTS.
Sorry, my thing closed. That is a James Hong movie.
Wow. What is that movie about?
It's actually in post-production right now.
Oh, okay.
It's about a
Okay.
55-year-old Chinese woman trying to finish her taxes.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay.
So it's in Post Malone production.
There
Great.
you- nice.
wow.
Number
Air horn,
3.
air horn, air horn.
True Confessions. Robin, how say you? James
Oh.
Horner, BTS song.
True Confessions. I want to say James Huang.
I also want to say James Hong. That sounds like a gangster movie.
You are correct. That is
Woo,
a
woo,
James
woo.
Hong movie. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Right. Number 4. The World's Greatest Lover.
Terrible titles.
Robin, how say you?
I really don't want to say BTS, the world's greatest love. I'm gonna say James Hong. Go Hong.
All right.
I
Kush, how
also
about you?
say Hong because like BTS, if BTS did a song about the world's greatest lover, like there's what is there 5 of those guys?
Yeah.
There needs to be a fight to the death in that match.
That is some good logic with them and most of them wearing lipstick. That is a James Hong movie.
Woo woo woo.
Wow.
1977, he played Yes Man, number 3.
Yes, man.
Okie
Number
doke.
3.
All right, here we go. Sunshine.
BT Ace.
All righty, Kush.
I also say BTS.
Nope, that is a James Hong movie.
Oh,
Damn.
Yeah,
did he at least play Sunshine?
did not.
Did he play number 2?
He played
Sunshine number
Dr.
2.
is a TV movie from 1973. He played Dr. Wild.
Whoa.
Wild number 2.
Okay.
All right,
All right.
number 6. So Fine.
So fine.
So
Fine. I can imagine some Korean voice singing so fine. So I'll say BTS.
BTS. Kush.
Yeah, that feels like a pop song. So I will also say BTS.
Also going BTS. That is a James Hong movie from 1981 where he plays Asian Man number 1.
What?
Oh, at least he's the number 1 Asian man.
There you go. Okay.
He can say that, you know.
Number 7. I believe, Kush, you're up by 1 because of that first one that was
Yeah.
you flipped
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Okay.
Oof.
All
Oof.
right. Now, this one, number 7. Love is a many splendored thing.
I'm gonna say James Hong because splendor is a pretty hard word to say. Even if you're not ESL, pardon
was-
me.
That was funny.
I will say BTS.
That is a James Hong movie.
Wow, this is all tied up now. Oh,
Oh
shit,
no,
son.
no.
He is credited as the 5th brother or uncredited. From 1955.
Holy moly.
Okie doke. Number 8. Missing Pieces.
Oh, the missing pieces. I'll say BTS.
This is a pretty diabolical game, Kai. She said BTS. I will say James Hong.
That is correct. It is a James Hong
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
1991. He
Aw.
plays Chang. Shocking.
Of course, he plays Chang.
He plays
Mr.
Chang.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Last one here. Goodbye Paradise. Robin?
James Hong.
James Hong. Kush?
BTS.
That is a James Hong movie from 1991.
Oh my
damn it.
god.
Oh, yeah. And honestly, that puts Robin up by 1 as the winner of this game. But
Oh,
also,
Does it? This isn't tied?
I thought it was tied.
it was. However, I lied. The first one, Nobody's Perfect, that is actually a James Hong movie.
What?
Oh my
What?
god. Yeah,
What?
you-
What?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They were all James Hong. I'm
were all
sorry I led you down that road, but I
There
had
was-
to. I threw a fake in there. Kush, I'm so
feel-
sorry.
My heart.
But,
My heart.
Oh.
But I don't know.
It's my new favorite. It's my new favorite game. It's torture device created.
But thank God this isn't Asian American Pacific Islander month anymore.
Oh,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
No, we'll come up with a better name for Kai's diabolical game to torture Kush.
Goodness.
Thank you for playing, everybody. Robyn, doing on fire.
Oh, hey. Hi.
Hey.
In that same episode, I have to think that we ran a little long on this one, but Kai asks about the Mayweather-Paul fight. You'll find that my speech gets increasingly slurred. And then we talk about who is who amongst the Paul brothers. You might even hear me pour a little heavy. That's Microdose 70, June 11th, 2021.
Did anybody catch the Mayweather Paul fight?
I saw it via tweets.
Yeah,
Twits.
I saw the highlights afterward, and no one told me that. Well, I guess I wasn't paying close enough attention that due to the rules of the exhibition fight, there would be no winner declared. So,
no winner. So it didn't matter what happened. No, like you definitely want the knockout, but it doesn't matter.
The only thing I really have to say, like my only sentiment is, reputation of boxing. I am sorry.
Everyone keeps bringing up the reputation of boxing, but no one was watching boxing last week. So I disagree with your hypothesis, sir. What I'm talking about is this is definitely a circus show. I don't think it was trying to be anything more than that. Chad Ocho Cinco had his own fight earlier in the night that actually went to a record. Whether or not he lost, I believe he lost, FYI. But
probably. That's usually how he does.
Oh snap! Yeah, this was all about getting money, and I feel sorry for anyone who actually did pay money for it. That seems like a punchline on Twitter, but I really do. That whole event was $50, and the biggest, the main event doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. I would pay, like if it was available to stream for $1 online, I would watch Logan Paul fight a kangaroo. Just throw that, do it.
$1? I mean, yeah, $1 is not unreasonable. $1 is not unreasonable.
I'd be like, okay, I'll check that out.
Kai, let me ask you, Robyn, follow up if you want to. Do either of you know the difference between Logan Paul, who did fight last night, and his brother Jake Paul?
I know there's some kind of they had some kind of YouTube thing, and they started a Disney show.
Yeah, I think they had a Disney show. They got big into YouTube. Their thing was like they upload retarded. Nope, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Take it again.
Yeah, they upload just dumb videos of like the stuff they do every day.
Like going to Japan and pointing at suicide.
Yeah, and I think
that's the thing. One of them was in Japan.
I think that was Jake.
Yeah,
Jake.
I think it was the other one.
I also can't remember which name is their last name.
Paul.
I keep thinking one of them is named Paul. This as their Paul.
like you keep getting mistaken with Paul Walker.
Paul.
Not a joke. Someone was outside my bathroom window the other day. They were rapping back and forth in between car windows, and they were talking about. My man was just like, and Floyd Mayweather's gonna knock out Sean Paul. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen.
Get that Sean Paul. You get Jake, Logan, Sean, and Paul in there. Royal Rumble next Sunday. Be there.
Last Paul standing.
The dude said it 2 or 3 times to the point where the guy in the car had to go like, "No, man, his name is so and so Paul," and he went, "Oh shit, okay, that happened." Yeah.
Logan.
Yeah.
I'm
convinced that Showtime mistake got Logan and Jake mixed up. Logan went into this thing 0-1. Okay. Jake is the guy who actually has like a 2-0-1. that last digit might be fuzzy, but the other Logan actually has a successful boxing record, and he
Interesting.
didn't get this fight. He was the one who fought Ben Askren a month ago, less than a month ago. Yeah.
I mean, this is an interesting hustle where at least somebody that's trying to play a heel, you could see them get punched in the face. So that's nice. But
I mean, it's nothing new. We always had celebrity boxing, but this, for some reason, is reaching more eyeballs, and it probably has something to do with the internet. Like,
yeah, well, for sure. No, it's got.
Yeah, these guys are. These boys, these brothers are kind of walking, talking memes. They were kind of constantly in the news for a while for just kind of being too rambunctious, going around just disturbing
boys,
disturbing the peace, pissing off their neighbors,
very jackass.
Yeah, pretty much. But they're on YouTube, and because they're on YouTube, there's less testicle and penis and poop references.
Oh, good.
It's a little bit cleaner, but it's still it's like watching a bunch of children just go wild after too much birthday cake. And these YouTubers all seem to live in these big mansions together. It's very strange. It's almost like they big brother themselves in a weird way.
There's a certain neighborhoods where the mortgage is actually cheaper than the rent.
The pandemic affected a lot of things these last 2 years. Boy, have they ever. Well, we got used to doing all sorts of streaming movies and first-run movies streaming immediately, so Amazon Prime released a Chris Pratt movie called The Tomorrow War, and Microdose number 74, which released July 9th, 2021. I give Robyn my review of The Tomorrow War. We're going to throw to that right now.
Did you end up seeing the new Chris Pratt movie on Amazon?
I took a look at it. The Tomorrow War, is that what it's called?
That is what it is called.
This is called it. And it looks kind of like every other Amazon, or not Amazon, every other kind of time travel sci-fi. I get Terminator vibes, I get Edge of Tomorrow vibes. But it's got Chris Pratt in the insert male protagonist here.
Owen Thunder Guns has come to Amazon.
Thunder Guns.
That's what the guys on Red Letter Media call him in Jurassic Park.
Oh man.
Owen Thunder Guns.
Owen Thunder Guns.
Owen Thunder Guns and Lady.
And Lady.
And
I
Lady.
remember Lady.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot of interest in seeing that concept done. I'm not super interested in seeing Chris Pratt run around.
He does do a lot of running. He and apparently he did a lot of cardio for this movie because we get to see him with the shirt off, and all the ladies go, "Whoa, I've got the vapors!" And it's like, get a room, miss. Trying to watch this Amazon show. That joke went nowhere.
It's very like gray and dark, and it's got that kind of moodiness to it.
It's kind of boring. It's definitely a little bit long. There are plenty of plot holes that if you watch those pitch meetings on YouTube, that guy just breaks them all open. It's like, oh, why didn't they just do this from the beginning? Like, really? Ordinary housewife just happened to ask the one question that like scientists around the world who aren't dead yet haven't asked yet. Really? Wait. The war is in 50 years, but we can't just attack this now in the present? Like little things like
that. Okay, Time Squad. This is just goofy stuff. But
it's definitely it's a movie that has a lot of potential, and then just ultimately it's just like What happened here? What? Oh my goodness. This is still too long, and I'm slightly bored, and I feel like we could have wrapped this up 25 minutes ago. But...
More chatting it up with Bob Calhoun from Microdose 68. We talk about the legend of Fox Plaza, which is, Bob will explain it to you, but it's this patch of land in San Francisco where even before this building was erected, Fox Plaza, you couldn't help but die in this weird little section of San Francisco. You could be murdered, you could be accidentally killed, you could just fall into a pit from hell. It's Microdose 68, May 28th, 2021. Bob Calhoun, The Murders That Made Us, Fox Plaza.
One of my favorite subjects is Fox Plaza and the former Fox Theater. Now, for those not familiar with it, tragedy surrounds this one location. Lots of suicide attempts, lots of suicide successes, or just other grisly murders happen here. And the lore in San Francisco is the Church of Satan leader, Anton LaVey, he put a curse on the building or on the location. And so but you dig in deeper, like, well, no, on this date, this thing happened, and on this date, this other horrible thing happened, 40, 50 years before Anton LaVey even stepped foot into the Bay Area.
Oh, yeah. The Fox Theater itself kind of, was cursed, or the William Fox, the owner of Fox Studios who built it, was like in a car wreck right around the time the theater was open. And, people in the theater, it had an elevator. It was such a huge movie theater that, people stepped into the elevator shaft, but the elevator wasn't there and fell to their deaths. It's just a weird place, and it got weirder after Fox Plaza, because even when they were building the building, like, there was a construction accident where like a crane or girders crushed some workers. It just was like the history of horrible things happening in that ugly building on, Market and 8th or 9th. It's just unreal. I mean, Anton LaVey or no, but I mean, the story goes that he was so upset that they tore down the Fox Theater where he played organ sometimes, and he was a very good keyboard player, a very good organ player, that he put a curse on it. He put a hex on the building. And yeah, it's a lot of suicides there. Something that didn't make it into the book that I kind of found out a little too late was that the Doodler, the gay serial killer, was, there were incidents there, like the people that wouldn't later, because they didn't want to out themselves in the 70s, that they were gay, because it was a much more costly thing to them back then. These businessmen that got away from the Doodler, I guess his apartment was in Fox Plaza, so you have according to Hoyle, genuine San Francisco serial killer living there. There was a guy who opened up fire. There was a sniper incident there, like a kind of mass shooting where a guy just started sniping from the building. Just even other stuff. Like there was like a fire, somebody, they had a lit cigarette and it, caught some paper on fire. So the fire truck was speeding there and it jumped over a center divider and hit some people waiting for a muni bus. It's just like, how we've left that building up, it's just even stuff around the building is somehow it's cursed, whether it's Anton LaVey or not, or just bad design or whatever. Just somehow the worst things happen surrounding that building.
Now, did you find any other similar addresses? Like, there's only so much space, like there's only so many days in a year, but like were there other... Did the hot dog stand just above the Montgomery Street station? Like, does someone get stabbed there every 8th day or something? Like,
nothing was quite like Fox Plaza. And this is at the time I had LexisNexis, which is a pretty deep newspaper database, and I have newspapers.com. And I was looking there was something like one of these other apartment buildings there, one of those big kind of high-rise apartment buildings, like some dean from UC Santa Cruz, I think, died there. Like there was another building that had some stuff, but it was like just one incident, one or two terrible incidents. It wasn't like you could just search back to the 60s and just find like just horrible things happening there referencing that building. Like nothing else had quite that. Nothing even close, really, I don't think. Maybe the Golden Gate Bridge, with the people that jumped off it, but that's Fox Plaza just had all these kind of, there's a suicide, like I said, the bullet lived there, and a mass shooting and fire truck accidents, and just on and on and on. It's
just a weird
like
magnet for negative energy.
Yeah, and it also is blamed for making that wind tunnel effect down certain areas of
Yes.
Market Street. It's just how it's positioned, and it also looks like it. I describe it as looking like an air filter from a mid-90s Toyota, and that's what because I used to have a mid-90s Toyota, and that's whenever I change the air filter, I'm like, this looks like the Fox Plaza Apartments.
Robyn is from Sacramento, so she doesn't really know what we're talking about. Robyn, and if you're in this one area of downtown right around City Hall, but by the Fox Plaza, you could be walking, it'd be a nice, bright, sunny day, catching all the warm sunshine, and then you turn a corner, and all of a sudden you were literally walking against the wind. It is the strangest. It's not a thing that happens 3 blocks north or south. It's just this one area.
Yeah, it's like the Bermuda Triangle of San Francisco.
It totally is. It's kind of ugly. It's not as picturesque as the Bermuda Triangle, but yeah. I mean, if you told me, the other place that I do write about that has that kind of history really is the zoo.
Oh,
the San Francisco Zoo. I mean, and it's.
We mentioned the Robyn Seto cameo party, which, my personal opinion, and I'm not biased here, it's actually the best part of the Microdose. It's a good time for the guests. It's a great time for me. I was like going up against greats like Norberto Barba, Pollo Del Mar, and Nicholas Evangelista here. At this point in the game when we're playing it in Microdose number 78 for August 6, 2021, Law & Order SVU star Ice-T's name comes up, and I go off on a little bit of a rant. Not about Ice-T, but about the way society is respecting him, or lack of respect for him and his family these days. It's a minute-long clip, but throw into that now.
And I think he's been on this show before, but I didn't remember even looking at it. I said, "Oh, that's what he's charging." Mr. Ice-T.
You actually, if you see him sometimes, he'll be on set in between takes. He'll literally be shooting a cameo like really quick.
Wow.
I think that it's probably decent. I think 99 is a good guess.
Yeah, Euro 99. All right, Kush.
This is Ice-T. This is the godfather of gangster rap, man. Like, first of all, he goes triple digits, but also I want to rant a little bit. Apparently he was trending the other week on Twitter because people were surprised that his child looks like him. And it's like, you ignorant assholes. Like, if you went, like, there's a 50-50 chance. It's no shit his kid looks like him. You fucking ignorant assholes. I was offended for Ice-T, and he doesn't need me to be offended for anybody. So I was like, Ice-T.
Well, guys, this has been an amazing Microdose 100, an amazing look back on this series. I wish I had more clips for you, but I'm just gonna say, hey, go back into the catalog. You can find it on the bosnet.family/microdose. We're also available on Buzzsprout, Stitcher, Spotify. A version of this will be on YouTube in its audio format, but check it out. I don't know why we don't say this more often. Subscribe, like, leave a comment, tell your friends about us. It helps. It does. I always thought that maybe I don't have to tell you that, but maybe I should just be saying that. So let everybody know that we're out there. Let them know that we have this rich catalog and some of the most unique guests ever compiled. Just by coincidence, by a happy accident, call it what you want, but we're here to stay. I can't wait to do another 100 of these with you guys. I got a long list of people to thank, so you're just going to have to indulge me on this, folks. In no particular order, 1EQ, Troy Anthony Grant, the Barely Functional Gamers, Janelle Smith, Madeline Costner, Cinema Bees, Steven Steinbacher. Can't forget Where Nobody Knows Your Name, the podcast. The Claret and Big Blue podcast, also featuring Mike Fish. Jameel Hemphill, of course. Len Kabazinski, Norberto Barba, Greg LoPiccolo, James Kincaid, AJ Kirsch, Kevin Gill, The Overlook Theater, Cecil Treckenberg, IAmSoLoco, who does all of our music, and we would be lost without him or his gift. Brad Wilson, Justin Wang Powell, Bart Rowenhorst of the Redhead Days Festival, Simon Pierce, can't forget Miss Robyn Seto, Little Sister Hayes, the heart and soul of this company, and of course my main man Kai, the cornerstone of this, Kai and a Guy. Thanks to each and every one of you for being a part of this. Thank you for making this show what it has been. If you're an old familiar with this show, at the end of the song, I always pull a little sound bite out and slap it at the end there. It's usually 1 to 2 seconds. It's gone as long as 18 seconds, which is a little long, but compiled as many of them as I could together. There's about 84 of them, and we're going to give you one long end bumper super cut. So stick around for that. Otherwise, guys, again, 100 episodes in the bank. Another 100 to come. Hopefully more. For everybody that I just listed, I've been Kush Hayes. You've been you. IAmSoLoco, please play us out.
Microdose, 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 yeah, microdose.
From the Bosnet family.
I mean, if she was doing Star Wars, I would totally understand why she would think this was a stupid question, but...
He comes out and he's like, another one. I like these movies. All of these beautiful, brightly colored fish swim up to the surface to eat my barf.
Discovering a new element that is currently not on the pediatric table in this story.
Pediatric.
The
It's full of children. It's like, if you just put it out there, the universe will give it to you. Hey, Subaru.
Hey, Subaru.
I can smell you through this HD TV.
Yay. Yeah, I needed to get that rambling out of my system. Whew. That was dramatic. You can be better. You can be the best of us.
And at least I didn't have to show my dig.
Yay.
Yay. We did it right.
Yeah, I like Lady Face Off.
Yeah.
Ooh. I think I'm gonna ride this one out. I'm gonna see where this goes.
Oh my god. Avatar sequel.
Legs and pants together again. Oh, don't forget to vote. Register to vote.
Do that.
I don't care who you vote for, just vote.
Rock the vote.
Rock the vote or die.
Vote or die. All the slogans from the generations.
We can do this.
You know, not a particularly pleasant guy. And not so
some kids finding a porno in a dumpster and bringing it to church.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got to show it.
Whoa.
Everyone has to do the work.
Yeah.
Money is everywhere these days.
Money's, well, again, for a modest $75.
What?
You can get a Nick Foley cameo.
Somebody check out my wiener. Not just a hat rack up there.
But she's indirectly responsible for the election of Barack Obama.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
At first I was like, who's smoking weed in the building? And then I was like, oh, Snoop Dogg. It's Snoop. Okay. And again, like,
that's so
he
cool.
No, 2020 had some good things going for it, man. You remember that one thing? And then everybody got a check out of nowhere? Like, yeah.
It's still a dream.
This was the worst year ever.
How about Paula Deen?
Oh, nice.
Miss Black Eyed Peas.
But once all their contracts were done, they took it out in the backyard and shot it.
That'll be an exciting time. It is actually the day I'm hopefully getting my master's rank is actually on my son's birthday. So it would be a really, really cool thing for me.
How many dragons do you have to slay to get this master's rank?
I'm sorry, you cut out on me.
Florida is a dumpster fire.
All right, he's kind of an asshole.
What do I know this episode, Robyn?
Because you really took an L for all black people. Like, you can't do that.
Michael, man, he's not from the Bronx. He doesn't know the Bronx.
What? You microdosing?
91 years old. I'm going to be up for 24 hours. Fucking sack up.
Oprah goes nation. What is that? Oprah.
Oh boy.
Fukushima just happened 3 years ago, bro. It's all circular, man. Like Discovery's After Picard.
Now, somewhere, someone is feeling themselves and thinking that I'm not the man. Hold on.
You just fucked up the rest of our season.
I think I'd be more comfortable with them setting me on fire than getting me on a wire. I have just like wild vertigo.
What you see is what you get.
The butt. Yeah. The butt.
Jason Statham stars as Liam Neeson.
I already gave them a tag team name. It's Two in the Pink.
The eyes follow you. The eyes follow you.
I did get in a polar bear suit.
Ooh.
If Adam Warlock is your favorite superhero, you're an asshole.
No. When did I didn't say that.
I'm in hell.
Oh my god, I'm such a dork. Sometimes we go boo. Tastes like diabetes. I'm a large man.
It's going to be really cool.
No shit, his kid looks like him. Yo, this script is fire, son. You gotta make this now. Let me help you.
I like some fun in the comedies, you know?
Not sure if you alone are famous enough, but you can always try.
Because even going through a window, I did think was pushing it. But
No, nobody wants to Star Trek with me.
I don't know what's happening.
I'm gonna let everyone on a secret. I'm not Chinese.
Yeah, it's the biggest reach we've ever had.
Oh, bunch of assholes.
I want waffles.
Who's this guy with all the weapons and the fancy Aston Martins that's got women hanging off his arm? I like him. I can relate.
Answer me, is this a dream?
You know, maybe I went into the ring and super kicked the referee or something to help him win a match or something.
Hey, Adam Driver, I don't like it when you're raping my wife like that. What the fuck, man? This Hitler's guy's going too far.
Settle like ghetto, you know.
I felt bamboozled.
Everybody treat each other well and happy holidays to everyone.
Oh no, it keeps going. Okay,
It keeps going.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like other people.
From the Bosnet family,